Thank you for checking out crypto.chartguys.com, the source for technical analysis in the cryptocurrency world. We are proud to announce our own crypto alert system designed to give you the most critical technical trading information possible no matter where you are. Keep your eyes on the market with mobile or email alerts for MACD crosses, RSI levels, and even inside bar alerts for dozens of coins across multiple exchanges. New features and proprietary ChartGuys indicators are already in development. Our alert system is very easy to customize and utilize, so don't hesitate to sign up for the most effective crypto trading tool on the market at crypto.chartguys.com. Hello everyone, we've got a wild day out there today. Congrats to all the Bitcoin bulls, and we had a huge breakout, and at one point, at the climax on GDAX, we got up over 19,700. And in 1 minute time, if you look at the 1 minute chart, we had periods where we ran $1,000 in 1 minute here at that peak. And at that point, it was just absolute insanity, just asking for an all-out dump, and that is what we got. So we're going to start in the daily time frame and then zoom in. And on the daily time frame, obviously, pull it up here, but we're getting a very significant breakout and a huge upper wick of profit taking. We're likely going to trade within this range of this daily candlestick for multiple days in a row. What I'm watching for are a couple of things. First off, the 4-hour time frame, inside bar is forming, but it's really the 15-minute time frame. This is what the thumbnail is about. This is the pattern that you are watching if you are trading Bitcoin. It is a perfect equilibrium pattern, and it's why I love technical analysis, because in the most volatile, crazy market that we've seen in a very long time, it is still following the rules. Not the rules, but the general patterns that we see time and time again. If you've been watching this channel, you are recognizing this pattern of higher lows, lower highs, tightening range. Equilibrium pattern on the 15-minute time frame is playing out perfectly. After we hit the top of the bounce, right about here, this is when we start to look for a lower high to form, and we said, okay, we're watching for an equilibrium pattern. And then as we pulled back, I was looking for a higher low to be established around 16,000, and we pulled back a bit more significantly than that. And so that made me a little bit more cautious, because that tells me things are a little bit more bearish. If we had bounced off of 16,000, we would have had a nice, concise, tight pattern, and we would have seen it continue to play out. And then that would have had, you know, a healthy higher low. We came close to that low. It was down at 15,101, and we pulled back to 15,305. Maybe I'm just a little bit spiteful because I didn't make an entry there because I was being extra cautious. The volatility that is being created here is obviously freezing up exchanges. We have this problem where everybody's getting on. There's so many transactions going through and so much money moving around that they are freezing up the exchanges. So on the 5-minute time frame today, I was doing the same thing that I described in the live video from yesterday. I was just flipping. I was buying the breaks of resistance. I was flipping for $150 to $250 profit in Bitcoin's move, and just doing that time after time and racking up the gains on the day. Certainly not getting as much as if I were just holding, but again, I was not holding. I was being cautious because I wanted to avoid this. If I got stuck in this, if I were trying to be greedy up here and make a flip with 19,000 breaking, and I got stuck and then the exchanges freeze and I can't sell, my entire account just lost a very significant amount. And that is not a situation I want to be in. My trading style is about consistency and keeping losses very small, like 1%, and keeping the winners multiple percent to outbalance that. And so I have been very cautious. I did play a bit on this bounce, just again, a couple flips for a few $100s. I'm waiting for this break of the 15-minute equilibrium pattern. That's the money pattern to be watching for tonight. I think we're going to break sometime in the next, it could really go late into the night, which is going to be a bummer if I have to be setting alarms and stuff, but it's going to be, let's see, we're at 5 p.m. Eastern. I would say by about 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll be able to tell if we're likely to break tonight or not. So we have, again, just the high, low, lower high, higher low only by a couple $100. Now we're bouncing, and we're going to set a lower high compared to 17,870. Now where that top is going to be remains to be seen. I don't believe we've set our top just yet. We just had a 15-minute inside bar bull break, and there's an alert somewhere out there in the universe going out for that. And we've got 16,890 as the top. I do believe we can go towards 17,000. And if 17,000 breaks, we can go up to, 17,200, 17,300. So if I were in a position, I would definitely be very cautious, knowing that the top is coming soon. The 5-minute time frame has a bit of a higher low at 16,562 to be watching. these would be essential to hold for me. If I'm looking for a lower high to form on the 15-minute time frame, that means the 5-minute time frame breaking the higher low pattern is going to be an indication that the odds that lower high is in are significantly increased if we lose the 5-minute higher low pattern. So that's what I'm watching for. I am not going to play anything until we get a clear break. Even when we pull back, we're going to form a higher low somewhere likely around 16,000, and we're just going to watch things tighten up as things settle down. It's a nice way to slow things down after all that chaos. And then when that break occurs, watch for the volume too. So let's go back to the 15-minute time frame. Look at the volume continuously dropping off, as is the case with this pattern. And we will see a spike in volume when we see a clear break of this. And now that all these traders are watching this pattern, and if we get a bull break, it will be fairly forceful. And I will be looking for a $500 to $1,000 move on that bull break. So the top is in for now, just because this consolidation is playing out. But if we get a bull break, it's entirely possible that we head back up towards $18,000. This move might not be done. And how this pattern breaks is going to be very, very significant to let us know how we're heading into this weekend. If it's a bear break, then we are definitely in consolidation mode, and we're going to be very cautious bullish into the weekend. If it is a bull break, I'm still going to share my same sentiment, where I'm looking for the potential that this is being run up intentionally, and that the futures opening up could start with some bearish bets and some shorting of Bitcoin. So that's something I'm being cautious for. But if we were to run up towards 20,000 heading into Sunday, which is possible, then that's something I would definitely be looking out for as well. So let's now look at the other names. They are still around here, although they're boring comparatively. So the hourly time frame, I drew this downtrend resistance line on Ethereum. I drew it in yesterday's video. And then today, look at that rejection. It's almost perfection. Very pretty. We have a double top at 448.89 and 448. So within $1, a double top, that's a key resistance level, and still forming lower highs here. The bulls have to break this double top for me to be interested in ETH, but it's going to take a lot to peel people's eyes away from Bitcoin in the next few days. So Ethereum on the daily time frame, we have what I am expecting to be an equilibrium pattern. We have our high, low of the pullback, lower high. We're now just forming a higher low with the bounce that's playing out. It's a pretty significant bounce at this point. So there's our higher low, and we'll look to pull up or bounce up and set a lower high compared to 483. And it's the same thing that we're watching on Bitcoin, but just a different time frame. So where I can say that Bitcoin is likely to break tonight, I can say that Ethereum could play out into tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. So that's what we're at with Ethereum. Not much going on in terms of the bulls turning things around. For us to be confident that our daily higher low has been set, we have to break this double top. And again, it's about shifting the percentage odds of what's going to happen. So in my mind, I'm not literally calculating numbers, but I'm saying if we see a break of this double top, the odds that the daily higher low has been established and that it is an equilibrium pattern will significantly increase. So that's what I'm watching on Ethereum and patiently waiting. Not going to play anything until we get a break there. And now let's go to Litecoin. So Litecoin, just want to point out the daily chart for Litecoin is still all bull. This is very healthy consolidation on a breakout. The daily chart is very comfortable overall. Essentially anything above 76.01 is going to be a higher low. That was the low of our consolidation, and then we head to higher highs. At this point, 95.01 is the low of this pullback. But even if that's not the end of this pullback and we continue to drop down, you know, we could bounce off of 88 and still be a nice higher low on the daily. One thing I want to point out about the correlations, obviously they're shifting. Everybody's eyes are on Bitcoin. Not much is going on with correlations between Litecoin and Ethereum. There's some correlation between Litecoin and Ethereum, but when we see this kind of action with everybody's eyes on one name and all the action going there, that obviously breaks the correlation. The things that break correlations are volume. You see when, you know, a Charlie Lee tweet comes out and Litecoin does its thing and the other names are not following, that's because volume is breaking that. So the algos that are trading here and keeping everything linked and correlated and in sync, they pick up that volume change, and it definitely throws those things out of whack temporarily. They like nice contained ranges and not an entire, you know, volatile, crazy move. So the correlations right now are weak, and when things settle down and when the price action settles down and there's less volume and it returns to a norm, then we'll see these correlations pick back up, and whether, you know, they're inverse or directly correlated, we'll have to wait and see, but they're clearly doing their own things, ETH and LTC compared to BTC. So Litecoin on the 4-hour time frame has a bit of a double bottom. Let's look at the hourly actually. It's a low of 95.10, 95.01, 95.11, and 95.25. So, and then we have almost a double top. It's not exactly a double top, but judging by the pullback from it, I do consider it 175, 187. That's, 0.1% difference. So I can consider that a double top. So we're essentially watching a double top and a double bottom on Litecoin on the hourly time frame, and we'll see which breaks from that pattern. But again, my attention's not going to really be on these names. I did make a mistake last night. I want to touch on that, where I was in a Ethereum position heading into last night, into bedtime, that is, and I definitely missed out on a lot of Bitcoin profit because I chose the wrong horse. And it's obvious that Bitcoin has all the attention, like I said, and that momentum. So not going to be making that mistake again. I'm going to have to wait till I see very clear bearish action in Bitcoin that I'm not going to keep all my attention on it. So we'll see how this equilibrium pattern plays out. We'll certainly be watching for it very close, and wait till you see those market orders hit when we see a break. That doesn't mean it's, we're gonna head back to all-time highs. We could see a bull break of this 15-minute equilibrium pattern, and then a rejection from 1800, and I would expect to break this level, but let's say we reject from 18,200. That would be, and let's say the bulls get scared and they remember the dump and they get spooked and they start selling off and there's a lack of bid support. We could see a very quick pullback. So it doesn't mean, if we get a bull break of this 15-minute pattern, we're going to head to all-time highs. It just tells me that we're going to see some upside. There's some nice profit opportunity in a bull trade, and I'm still going to be protecting my position as adamantly as I have been for the past couple of days. And really the most comfortable position to be in is in a break-even stop-loss trade, but you have to be cautious. If the exchanges are screwing up with all of these issues, the stop losses are getting skipped by people, and there's horrible fills going on. So there's a lack of liquidity right now in the market. In the stock market, you have market makers that are holding large sums of shares, and they are facilitating the action and the volume and the volatility. And we don't have that in the crypto space. So that is one difference why this volatility is so wild. There are no market makers keeping things cinched. So once we hit that area with literally nothing in the order books, that's the reason that we saw Bitcoin hitting, $1,000 move in 1 minute. Let's just get this total to wrap up the video. In a few minutes here, we went from 17,750 up to 19,670. So essentially $1,850 in 3, 6, 10 minutes. That's absolute insanity. And that is because there was no orders, no sell orders in place. And then as soon as you start pulling back, everybody starts putting in their sell orders. And at that point, it's too late. So everybody's rushing to sell at market. And that's when there's a lack of support just as well. The faster you run up, the faster you're going to pull back due to supports not being established on the way up. I hope you all have a wonderful night. I hope you protect your positions. Congratulations on the profit. And we'll see you tomorrow.